Unless I haven't been paying attention, man, the moon doesn't look normal.
You keep the pressure on, correct? We stay until we win, is that right?
At the moment, you're under arrest for incitement.
Have you guys been following me?
We're winning, folks. Okay, we're winning. We're pushing back the dark.
You ask simply 2 questions to find a filthy Freemason démolé. Where did you go to school? Which primary school? Which high school? And who's your daddy?
It's Christmas 2030. The cars have gone, the curfew's on. There's nothing much to do but to reminisce about the things we miss and to dream about the freedom we once knew. Not so long ago, we were free to roam. Now there's designated zones, no private land, no private homes, and the price we pay for the plans they made is that 95% of us have gone. Oh, and those who saw it coming were silenced or ignored. Bit by bit they stole from us the life we had before. So at Christmas time 2030, we envied those that didn't make it through. So meticulous. Vaccinations, GM foods, the censorship of different views, and it all began with the climate scam and the policies that targeted the youth. Oh, and if you don't believe it, there's something you should know, written on the Georgia Guidestones, words that clearly show there's a plan for us. It's very obvious. Agenda 21, the Club of Rome.
Hello, Tinfoil Tales listeners. I'm Sauce.
Welcome, listeners. I'm Sandee. So this is the final episode of 2022. So we want to cap the year off and take a look at the year that was, but with the help of our friends, you guys. That's right. We did a call out on the socials to get requests from you to tell us what moments stood out for you the most and what you want us to talk about. And we had some really great requests. Going back down memory lane was actually a real treat. Some of it I had forgotten about.
Me too.
That's actually how much happened. It just felt like it flew past. Like Christmas is here already, guys. But the best part of this year for me was we started this podcast. At first, we were going to hide behind the boys' Patreon paywall because we were nervous and wanted to keep it inside a small echo chamber, keeping it just for the conditional release program listeners. Do you remember that, Sauce?
Oh, yeah. You guys, you've got no idea how long it took Jack and Joe to actually convince us to be brave enough to do this. And we were really freaked out and we really didn't want anyone to get access to it. And yeah, we were pretty scared.
Yeah, we've done a lot of this actually in the background quietly, just feeding the boys stuff, just like, don't say anything, don't let anybody know who we are. But we braved it and released the podcast into the wild, and surprisingly to us, you guys actually like it. Look, we've had a bit of negative feedback from our subjects. I guess that is to be expected. Sorry about that if you're listening. But actually not as much as I expected. I imagine that's because our podcast is not hitting their echo chambers and they never really look outside it. But a couple have and disagree with us, and that's okay. The past 3 years has impacted everybody at different levels. We're not looking to change their minds. We want to bring awareness to others that have not ventured down the rabbit holes yet, in the hope that maybe they'll be properly fully informed before finding themselves caught up along the way. We all have our views and experiences and opinions. This is niche, but people are interested. The freedom movement has had a vast array of characters that have perplexed us on a daily basis, going from sad, scary, dangerous to funny, and then the downright bizarre. Who can actually ignore this stuff?
I think it is, like we do have a couple of people, obviously, that aren't going to agree with us. And like, to be fair, they don't have to agree with us. And like you say, we're not trying to change anyone's minds.
Yeah.
People are allowed to make their own decisions, but equally, we're okay with reporting back to you guys on what we see. I mean, they walk down the streets of Melbourne every Saturday and they've done it for, 2 years. So, to expect people not to pay attention to that and have an opinion on it is probably equally as silly as us believing that we can change their minds too. So it's not about trying to change people's minds.
No, and it's been entertaining and kind of like a weird social experiment. And who knows where or when this will end.
Ends. They keep moving those goalposts, Sandee, so I'm not sure it's ever going to end. I remember this time last year, Bosie saying that by February it would be over. And now he's saying by October next year things might be over. So that's pretty good move of the goalposts.
Look, and we were supposed to be in a lockdown at the moment. Remember the Christmas
Yes.
lockdown?
Yes.
Oh, we've got a few days left to go because, we're not locked down. Does not look like one is even coming. But 2022 was an interesting year. We had Camp Epic and 2 elections, which saw the movement as we know it flounder and become dead in the water.
And then at the end of it, we've seen a real tragedy in the last few days or week.
Yeah.
With the death of those 2 police officers and the bystander in Queensland after attending a property in relation to a missing persons report. Look, we know that things are still developing with the story, and to be honest, they're going to develop for a while. But what we do know is that the 3 residents of the property appear to be aligned with soft-sit type beliefs, and we're also linked with an American religious YouTuber. The content that has been seen, guys, it's really dark, very disturbing. And it was incredibly disappointing to see so many journalists print the names of the sites, which only results in more eyes on this stuff. And that's what makes it probably more dangerous. But I think what we do need to remember, and this is with all of this stuff, not just with the recent tragedy, is that there are real families affected by this. Real people. These are real people. It's not a TV show. It's not a cartoon. These are real people. And sometimes we're just best to not click share.
Yeah, we don't really want to be perpetuating extremist content, I guess.
Yeah. Look, and it's a fine line between, what do you share and what don't you share? And I think I know that I look back and think there's some stuff I shouldn't have shared.
Yeah, and then you got to really make the decision, is this spreading extremist content or is it raising awareness? Where's the line? It can be really hard. We do recommend, reaching out to people like Tom Tanuki or the White Rose Society or anybody and just go, hey, what do you think of this? What's your thoughts? And follow them and take on their advice when they'll put it out. Say, you know what, this isn't so good right now. And you go, okay, yes, advice heeded. But yeah, look, that's pretty heavy. But let's kick this off with something funny, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. So I want to start off with a request we got from Exposing NV, or also known as Vexatious Litigant on Twitter, who requested we rehash the Martook and Serene Tefahar saga that occurred in the middle of this year. So I was like, oh, Serene, a serene rant. Yeah, let's do this one.
It would be wrong not to.
Of course, she is quite amazing at her rants. So Matuk has had an interesting year, and exposing envy has been following it all along. So he's done really, really amazing work. Look, I've said he or she. Another one, we actually don't know who or what, who is behind exposing envy, but they're spot on. They really do appear to know what they're talking about. Matuk has had an interesting year, and exposing envy has been following it along all the way. But the part we are going to focus on today was when Matuk had a win. It would have been the winningest win of all time. Never before seen around Australia and perhaps the entire world. This was on behalf of a healthcare worker and mandates. Here is Matuk talking about it.
Good afternoon, guys. Peter Matuk here from Matuk's Law Group. As many of you will be aware, last week my firm, Matuk's Law Group, and my team had a fantastic historic win. We are the only law firm in Australia, if not the world, that won the right to a fully fledged merits-based decision court case argument to be had. This was something that no other person has been able to deliver, and this is something that has brought the merits back into this decision, the science behind this so-called mandates. Hazard has nowhere left to run. Perrottet, nowhere left to run. They're in a headlock. So what happens today? Oh, funny that. They have just now announced that they're going to take away the remaining restrictions with respect to the mandates and the public health orders. Too little, too late. Thank you very much for finally listening to me, Hazard. I've asked you time and time and time again. I've sent you letters. I have been on your back for months and months and months, telling you, let the people go back to work. The healthcare system is falling apart. It's crumbling. You allow nurses who test positive to go back and work, but nurses who are unvaccinated are not allowed to work. Where is the science behind that? But you know what? Now I have the right to ask, where's the science? And I'm going to ask, because no matter what, this isn't over yet. We will be pushing forward with all our cases because you will be held accountable. You and Perrottet and Gladys, all of you will be held accountable for everything that you did to all these poor Australians. I've said all along, I will never give up, and I'll keep on fighting, and I will keep on producing results. And that's what I have done, and that's what I will keep on doing. Now it's time for you to answer the rest of the people, because dropping these mandates is not good enough. You're putting caveats and conditions about occupational health and safety. Not good enough. It is not good enough.
At the time this win occurred, the pandemic restrictions had a lift, and Serene thought it was all because of their win.
Well, obviously it was.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit ironic.
Old man, turn 98. He won the lottery and died the next day. It's a black fly in your Chardonnay. It's a death row pardon, 2 minutes too late. And isn't it ironic? Yeah. Don't you think? Uh-huh. It's like rain on your wedding day. The free ride when you're already paid. It's some good advice that you just can't take. And who would have thought it's figures?
That's right. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It is an outrage. This is more than just bloody irony. It's hypocrisy. It is disturbing. What? Public health orders? What did you say? For the health staff to be vaccinated will be lifted? So we're still concurrently running cases in the Fair Work for terminations, and now you're going to lift them? Oh, wow. Almost a couple of days after the NCAT appeal was won. That's right. It was one that we're going to bring all the science in so we can challenge your bullshit. Okay, and working really hard with People for Safe Vaccines, Sandee and I have ripped apart this narrative. And what you say? You're going to take down the mandates when there is the highest time of infections, hospitalizations, ICU admissions, and deaths. Ridiculous statistics. Just have a look at them in our third supplementary report. This is an outrage. We should all be outraged. These are this is insanity. It's insanity. And if you cannot feel this insanity, then you are one of those insane perverts. So now that we're climaxing, with this injuries, with the stress, with the distress, with the pain, with the trauma, with fair work, occupational health and safety, let's see. Why it's my decision, the decision with the paramedic, 4 months. I've challenged the occupational health and safety laws. Oh, that we did. And we're going to bring all sorts of appeals for employers thinking that they can mandate vaccines. And now the government is backing off. What? You ain't gonna be able to not have the science brought in. The merits review, as Peter Matuk has said, we are the first to win, even globally, that says the science has to be debated. And it will unfold. It doesn't matter what theory you go on. It doesn't matter what's in the vaccine. What matters is that they're neither effective or safe. And that's just simply from observation. It doesn't matter what you think it is. It doesn't matter what you think it's about. It doesn't matter what's in it. What we do know is that we have been lied to. And here it is. You ain't gonna get away from the evil of your plans. You ain't gonna get away with this. None of you. None of you perpetrators and violators of your own rights, acting against your own best interests, in pushing for what we've seen as the biggest crime against humanity rolled out. And by the way, they are not stopping these evil people. They're off their heads, insane. With the wars and the bioengineering and the geoengineering and you name it, they are going insane, and it will all unfold. And I am so proud of our team. I'm so proud of my defiance, my persistence, and the persistence of everyone who stood by me. We will not stop.
So you guys want to know what happened in the end to this court case? Well, Serene excitedly flew up there to support him and bragged about how wonderful this win was and how great this case was going to be. But as Vexatious Litigant on Twitter reported, the federal court called it misconceived and described the key arguments as not only wrong, but striking, and threw it in the bin. Not to be deterred, Peter has, Matuk, I like to call him, he's launched an appeal shortly after, and that is due to be heard in February next year. So that circus, of course, still continues. It won't end.
Just more winning. So much winning. Okay, so we had a request from both Charlie Bucket and Alicia on Twitter who asked us to replay Mission to Melbourne's Lap of Love and the shenanigans that the Twitch people unleashed on them to disrupt their event. Look, Mission to Melbourne, unmitigated disaster. Poor Tammy, Warrior Angel, Joan of Arc, just didn't quite go as planned. Things got off to a very bad start on day one when the proclaimed Lap of Love finally got underway after Dan arranged for some wild Melbourne weather to ruin their fun. Dan!
Always Dan's fault.
So they finally left the servo and started making their way to the airport using the map that she'd shared on an app called Zello. It's like a walkie-talkie app. And well, let's have a listen.
Hey convoy, we're going to move into the front now again, and we're going to stop at the service station like planned. So you want to let us into the front would be really nice, thank you.
Convoy is continuing to move.
I didn't think anyone was stopping. Is that a troll, or are these people really stopping at the service station?
Hey guys, just not to have any confusion, we are going to stop at the service centre because we actually need to go to the toilet. We didn't realise we were stopping earlier, so we are going to stop and then maybe do the drive-through.
Convoy continuing on Tullamarine Freeway, no stopping, hazards on.
Unfortunately, between today and tomorrow, you're going to get slammed with the trolls and you won't be able to stop them because they do it for a living. And someone's going to end up in the wrong place because of these trolls. You've got to get onto them and you need help because someone's going to end up on the wrong road.
So on the Balti Bridge, you need to be on the centre right lane. That will turn you right onto the Westgate Freeway. We can't slow down, guys. If the convoy breaks up into groups, stay calm, go slow, and just don't do any silly moves. Take it easy, guys. Hey, guys, that was not me. That's someone else. We need to get rid of them, please.
Now they've even got Tammy's recording.
Guys, can I just check, where are we going? Because I'm confused with all these trolls.
Follow the map.
Everyone, I've just called Tammy and she has said that we are turning off to the city and going to drive through there instead.
No city, everybody. Continuing on freeway.
Correct. I'm not taking any phone calls, guys. People have tried calling. I am not taking any phone calls. Stay on the course. We're not changing the route.
Convoy at Balti Bridge.
I thought we were going to the city.
We are not going to the city.
You are a cunt, 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 cunt. But if that's thinking cunt, still ain't true, but you tell me you're motherfucking cunt. You are a cunt, 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 cunt. Motherfucking cunt. Everybody knows from you. I said, please come on that way. He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich.
G'day guys, just heading over the Balti. What's the next turn off?
Stay towards the right and onto the Westgate Bridge.
Can somebody tell me what the Balti is?
Bridge, hun.
Is that the covered bridge?
Tammy Jane, please come in. Tammy Jane, please come in. With the sun coming out, I'm feeling a little bit hot and a little bit cooked. Over. Convoy, I've just lost the flag off my car. If anyone picks it up, please let me know. Over.
Where are you?
If you tap now to watch a short, you'll receive 30 minutes of...
Shout out to Warboat. He's on his way. Shout out to Warboat. This is so good, guys. Just like epic. Love you, dear people. Convoy, I've just passed the Balti. Can anyone recommend a service station? Need fuel. Over.
Get off the Westgate Freeway exit and head toward the Todd Road Service Centre.
Quick question, are there toilets at the airport viewing place?
No, there are not. There's usually donuts, though, and coffee.
Copy that, thank you.
Convoy exiting onto Metropolitan Ring Road, Western Ring Road.
Convoy, is anyone stopping at the service station after the Balti? Over.
When you get onto the Westgate, stay in the second to left lane.
We're just heading onto the Westgate Bridge now.
Stay in the second to left lane. We're just...
Convoy, I just spotted an undercover cop in a black BMW just after the Balti. Over.
He's right in front of me.
That's our taxpayer dollars there.
If anyone's lost, maybe just follow the signs to the airport. Cheers.
As you come down the west gate, move to the right-hand lane.
Whoever the last person was saying stick to your right-hand lane, don't do that. You end up going to Geelong. Stick to your directions, left-hand lanes, like you were told before, or else you're going to get diverted all the way to.
The left lanes coming off the bridge go to Millers Road. We are not going to Millers Road.
Convoy, yes, nobody wants to go to Geelong. Over. If anyone's turned off to Geelong, you will have to turn left up ahead and then turn around again, come back. Over.
For anyone that's lost and doesn't know where to go, there's a bunch of us at the airport lookout already. Big group of us got lost, so we've just pulled up at the airport lookout. So just head there if you don't know where to go.
Hey Tammy, the rear of the convoy has just gone over the Westgate Bridge.
G'day Convoy, just pulled up the servo. Can confirm they have donuts. Can confirm they have donuts.
Tell them to start cooking.
Can anyone recommend closest toilets to the airport viewing place?
There should be toilets at the local tip.
It's probably a servo in Bulla that is not too far away.
Copy that, thank you.
Did someone say there was toilets at the local tip? What?
Yeah, they did. We ignore them.
There must be toilets at the airport somewhere, yeah?
You're actually nowhere near the airport. This is a viewing area for people who like watching planes take off and land.
So glad the weather's got better, guys. Let's go, Convoy.
Where is Tammy? Repeat, where is Tammy? Is there any pedo troll?
For those needing toilets, there's a good servo on the ring road.
Thank you.
Convoy, has anyone heard from Tammy in the last 30 minutes? Over.
Convoy, Tammy Jean is live on Facebook, so she won't be on Zello.
Cheers, thanks for the update. Over.
There's somewhere to eat where you are, Tammy, because I'm starving.
There's donuts at the end.
This is great, guys. Let's keep going.
I want something more than donuts. I'm starving.
You'll have to get it on the way then.
Hey guys. Fuck every one of yous. Get a real fucking job. I swear to God, I'll come around there and...
Doesn't get much more real than this, dear. You sound like a troll.
It's been nothing really. That's why I put in trusted users first and then you can block most of them. But anyways.
The trolls are streaming you on twitch.tv.
I'd like that last troll to get a real job.
Yeah, g'day, guys. Did anyone block that last troll, Disco Dead Pigeon? Over.
Are the police at the airport viewing area asking for a friend?
Where is the convoy located at the moment?
Where are you all now? I had to pull over to sort out my dog, which had vomited everywhere. Not sure how far back I am.
Just keep going up to the airport viewing area. Put it into Google and just follow that.
Just pulling up now, Convoy. Hope to see everyone there soon. Great effort, guys. We're all here, guys. How many stragglers? Come on, how far away are you all? Let's go.
We are about 3 kilometres away. We're stuck in traffic, so we won't be too long.
We're 14 kilometres away, just left Macca's.
Yeah, I'm just about 10 kilometres away. I'm just approaching Little River now.
Did you say Little River?
Yeah, just a little bit east of the airport.
Is that the Tullamarine Airport or the Avalon Airport?
The Avalon Airport. That's where we're going, wasn't it?
No, the Tullamarine Airport.
Yeah, Avalon Airport. You're a long way from where we're supposed to meet, mate. You need to turn back and come back. Over.
Ah, jeez. Damn it. Sorry, not from around here.
Yeah, Lazar, if you're that far away, Not sure if there's going to be anyone at the viewing area by the time you get there.
Yeah, Lazza, how'd you end up at Avalon Airport, mate? Did you follow the map? Over.
This is Charlie, Oscar, Kilo, Echo, Roger, signing out.
Copy that, Roger. Out.
I've got to say, how you guys do that, Cooker Watch and all the Twitchers, it's just next level stuff from the Twitch army. Very, very funny. 10 out of 10. We know you're listening because we know that you listen to our episodes over there on Cooker Watch. So, hello.
Yeah, lots of love and like, guys. My favourite on that Zello chat, I just have to point this out. They called themselves on their Nick the Metal Lord, and they letting them know he dropped the flags off his car and could they pick them up if they see them. I swear to God, I laughed so hard. He's actually the one you hear that's been really, really helpful. And you actually don't realise at first, and they never worked it out. But also, there was another one called Charles, and they fooled me all the way through until their little sign-off at the end, which went like this: Charlie, Oscar, Kilo, Echo, Romeo. And then I went, oh, yeah, that's the military alphabet, and spells out Cooker. Oh, my God, you guys are really too much. That was so good. You have no idea all the messages that we were receiving at the time. Get on Zello, get on Zello. I remember having a shower and I was having trouble and I couldn't log in, and I'm in the shower and I'm getting out and I'm going, oh, my God, everyone's telling me I've got to get on this Zello. And I did. I finally got it to work, and so I caught the last maybe 10 minutes of it. Hilarious stuff.
The ones as well, like about going off for toilet breaks. Very funny.
Really clever.
Poor Tammy.
I don't feel sorry for her, though. I got that clip from Cooker Watch and Real Hippie, who meticulously recorded and archived that for our enjoyment. I edited it down to just the highlights for the sake of this bit, but thank you for sharing and allow us to replay it here. This one is everyone's favourite. Okay, so this one is a request from David, but Sauce might need to tell us about the build-up.
Yep. I love this one so much, and I'm so glad that someone asked for it. So picture this. It was a blustery day. You're on the lawn at Parliament House. You have a bunch of people with you, and you think, you know what we should do today? Reenact the Battle of Iwo Jima. Because it will make perfect sense for us to recreate a battle between two countries, neither of which were Australia, and a flag raising that was staged.
And while that is definitely a visual masterpiece, they also did this at the end.
This is our foundation stone. It was placed here for us, our city. Remember, we pay their wages. We paid for the ground. We paid for the streets, and we paid for these buildings. And those that have fought for these freedoms, well, their names are remembered in that there memorial. And there's no glory to them unless we take back our freedoms and ensure our children have the same freedoms that we did. So I call on you men to stand up, take back your children's freedom, and make your women proud. Hey! It's time!
Can I just say, if I remember, I will retweet Iwo Jima, because you guys have to just watch it again. You have to watch it in its entirety, then go back and watch it again and focus on the individual performances within the piece. Like, as a collective, it's hilarious. But when you actually focus in on them as individual people within that performance, it makes it even better. It's outstanding.
Tom Taniki did a whole thing on it, didn't he? A video on it. That's also worth finding and having a look at.
It was it was up there with Martelford as one of the best days of my life in watching stuff, because I couldn't believe that they were doing it.
It was innocent fun, and it was cute and endearing in a way. Yeah.
Oh, bless their cotton little socks. So next up, a request from Dallas. So I'm sure you've all heard of the Fire Festival. Well, Mon, she's never to be outdone, so she decided to have the first festival of its kind ever, but not because of the stalls and the food trucks. It was because it never actually happened.
Hey guys, I am really excited to talk to you about this because it's totally new, never been done before. We are hosting our first ever festival. That's right. We've done the protests, we've done the summits, we've heard everything that could be said in a speech, I'm pretty sure. We've done the politics. Now it's time to have a festival, a family-friendly festival where hopefully we can get everyday people there and our communities as well. Now there's going to be markets, food trucks, music, expos, workshops, free kids activities, and the ticket prices are really, really small, $10 a person, $15 for a couple, $5 for a pensioner, and absolutely free for anyone under 18.
Yeah, what a complete flop. Just doesn't happen. I mean, I guess she didn't sell any tickets. She wanted the tickets to find out how many and realised, there's not many. It's not worth even putting on.
But sometimes just the sheer audaciousness of Monica is why I actually love her. She honestly thinks no one's ever had a festival before. She was so pumped and hyped for it. And it's there's one of them on in a park every Sunday afternoon, Monica.
I don't even recall if she even addressed the fact that it never happened or that it was cancelled.
No, she just pretends. Yeah, no, she just didn't happen.
But sticking with Monica, and this one is again for vexatious litigant.
I'm trialing the whole I am a living woman thing. I hear people talk about it all the time. So I was like, how better to see if it works unless I just do it myself. So I now have a hearing. I have informed the court that I am a living woman and that I do not consent and all of that stuff. And I've done it now twice, and now we've got a hearing in October. And I'm going to do my best to see if this works so that if it does, I can share it with you guys and you can do the same thing. And we can have that ability to know when or when not to consent and so forth. And, I just want to see what it's all about.
Not really a good idea to be a free man and woman right now. I think this was not long after she had the sovereign citizen Saul as a speaker at her Freedom Summit. As I recall it, she wanted to put people up as speakers who didn't have large followings. So she wanted to kind of bring in those little niche people with the little niche ideas. Not such a good idea because they were offering solutions to her audience, like the sovereign citizen kind of solutions, and that's it's never a good solution at all.
And we obviously had to include this one. I mean, not only is it a massive burn, but it also made it into our weekly Tinfoil Tales segment.
Oh, yeah, we totally took this one.
Call you a tinfoil hat wearer, say, oh, thanks. I'm sure you have really nice hats at your house. Have a lovely day. Thanks for commenting. It's they're like, what? It messes with them. Anyway, they're going to see this anyway, so they're going to know that I've told you that. But
uh-oh, here she is again. This time she's more than a bit confused.
Paper I think it's in Dutch because it says Deutschland on it, or maybe that's it's Switzerland. I actually don't know, and I'm embarrassed. But anyway,
Poor Monica. I don't think I've ever experienced an adult in the world who doesn't know what Deutschland actually means, but bless. And finally, who could forget the time that Mon thought she was posting an anti-vax song?
Well, maybe we all get misled. We see this post on our WhatsApp thread. They use conspiracy theories just to fool ya. It's not needle pricks to be scared about. It's the ones who put this nonsense out. Subsidized, mistaken, have the new job. Have the new job. Have the new job. Have the new job. Have the new job.
Oh my God, I have to wonder who trolled her and gave her that song. She clearly only listened to the first 30 seconds and posted it right away, saying, everybody, share, 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 share this. This is amazing. I have to wonder what her face was like when she realised the title of the song is Have the New Jab, and that it's encouraging people to not be conspiracy theorists. She would have been like, oh, shit, that's not an anti-vax song. Quick, get that off. Delete, abort.
And she actually did. Like, she actually did delete that. It wasn't there for very long.
Yeah, don't share, guys. Holy shit. That's actually a really good song. It's called Have the New Jab, and it's Hallelujah that's been adapted by the Marsh family. It's on YouTube. Go listen to the whole thing. It's actually quite adorable. But David's son has requested that we talk about Chantal Fox and the saga that surrounded her literally driving over the top of a car of a freedom fighter.
What are you doing?
You fucking bogan slut. Get the fuck out of Canberra, go get a job, and find something better to do with your fucking...
What have you done?
What have you done?
Can I please have your license?
Honey, you just reversed into me. I have a fucking camera.
Sorry, we're at a traffic light and
you can say whatever you want, and you can put whatever you want, sweetheart. The media doesn't care about you.
I'm not talking to the media.
What are you looking for?
Don't you worry.
What are you looking for?
Oh,
Did you see that?
Maniac.
Yeah, I am. So get the fuck out of Canberra because there are a lot of us.
Good.
Yeah?
You're a maniac.
Oh!
Oh, I'm so sorry, Emma. I'm so sorry.
How's that?
You fucking idiot. You are fucked.
Can you better call the tow truck? Will you shut them all down and down?
So this girl is gone absolutely insane. So she's parked her car on top of the other car. She runs out. She's abusing the crap out of them all. She pulls off their red ensign flags from the cars, starts hitting them with it. Like it was next level insanity from this woman, who then went on to take her newfound fame and joined an OnlyFans. Like, she had zero fucks. None whatsoever. She was so over the whole thing that was going on in Canberra at the time. I guess we kind of got to think about what the vibe was like at that moment within Canberra.
Yeah, like, I think, and I don't subscribe to the media saying that only 15,000 people were there. There was more than 15,000 people there. There wasn't the 25 gazillion trillion that Ricardo and Guru want to believe either, but there was more than 15,000 people there.
Yeah.
And they are loud, they are obnoxious, they won't follow rules, they're very much in your face. They're I can see why it was a very tense, weekend into that week when they all arrived. So yeah, I'm not surprised that there was some people that were a little bit over the whole thing, to be honest.
Yeah. And like, we're seeing that here in Melbourne. We see that everywhere. They're just the people are coming up to them, seeing them, getting into their space, and they've had enough.
Yeah.
Not excusing Chantal's behaviour. It was over the top. Like, it did unnecessary.
It was bad.
It was really shit. Another thing that happened at that time, so, this brings us to Queen Mandy, who had a run-in with Agnew.
Get off the footpath. You're not allowed to be on. You're not allowed to be on the footpath. I'm going to stop him from getting in my space.
Right, well, get out of it then. That's a great idea.
Get out. You get out.
Who are you?
Get your car out of the way.
Who are you?
Get the fuck out.
Hey!
Footpath and find a fucking car park like civilized people.
She's not on the footpath.
Hey!
What's going on?
All right. Jim doesn't want to be in the
How dare you touch a veteran? Get the hell away from him.
I didn't touch
Move
him.
away from him.
He put me
Move
in the
away
hole.
from him.
I don't
Move away from him. Move away from him.
See, this is what they call.
Wow, okay.
This is what they
Move
call
away from him.
motivated reasoning.
Move away
This
from
is
him.
what they call motivated reasoning.
It was on camera.
Look at his
It was
grin.
on camera.
Oh, yeah, it was. And look at his shit-eating grin.
Go away.
Look at his fucking shit-eating grin. He loves it.
You obviously love it. You're quite obviously in love with this because you waited here for us. I saw you sat down. You knew we were coming.
I'm not happy with this. I want you to go and find the car park.
No, we will not go and find the car park.
Again, you know, these guys were parking their cars and their trucks on the grass. Like, they weren't even using car park spaces. And they just think that they can go wherever they want and that's okay. And our Queen Mandy confronted them and said, you know what, like, that's so uncalled for. All credit to her. She's very brave. I certainly wouldn't have been able to do it. But she basically went up to them and said, you know what, we've had enough of this. Get your cars off the bloody grass. Go park them at the car park. Have your protest. But could you not? Could you just not? And, of course, Glenn Agnew walks on up to her and puts her in an arm lock.
Yeah.
At the time, there was a lot of debate online about whether Mandy was right, whether Glenn was right, who was wrong, blah, 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 blah. A lot of commentary from their side, from our side, all over the place. But it actually did end up in court. And what we do know is that he was charged and he pled not guilty to common assault. And it went before a judge who found him guilty. That settles it right there. He has a criminal conviction that's been recorded and a $250 fine. So that settles that whole thing. But a little fun fact that Mandy's let me know about this was Glenn was being advised by the winningest lawyer of all, Spiros, the head of the People's Council Legal Department, Spiros.
The one who's not a lawyer, that one.
That one. Yeah, exactly. And so apart from some soft-sit tactics at the beginning of all this, he actually did respect the court's jurisdiction and pleaded for leniency, which the court gave him because of his military career.
Yeah. I think the Glenn one was a really good insight all the way back then. And look, we see it every week in Melbourne, that whenever anyone does the wrong thing, they are incapable of calling it out. Incapable. And they demonstrate that all the time. How many times has Brad done the wrong thing? No one ever calls him out. Down in Melbourne, you know, if someone does something at a rally, they're not with us, they're not part of us, they're an instigate or someone else started it. Like they cannot and will not take accountability for anything that goes wrong, which is the weirdest part to me, because I think that's probably the biggest difference between activism that you see in other groups.
Yeah.
Is shit behaviour isn't tolerated and it gets called out and the people are told, correct your behaviour or don't come back. It is totally the opposite with these guys. They will not call out anything that they do.
And then if the community call them out for it, well, that community member is the one at fault. It's like they honestly are the most innocent people on the planet. They've done nothing wrong, nothing.
Never.
Ever.
Never.
But I also did come across some comments here about what happened, going back to the whole Chantal Fox thing, from Karen Brewer. So let's see what her opinion is on that matter.
I can only imagine.
You're onto it, Jennifer. It's exactly what she is. She is a paid actor. She was there to put on a show, which she gave, and now everybody's talking about her instead of talking about the reserve powers of the governor. Hi, Ebony. It's not really about focusing on her. It's about exposing the fact that she will be a Freemason de Molay actor there planted to cause a distraction. I mean, it's also important that people wake up to the actors within, you know, and that's exactly what she was. That was a put-up job by the Freemason Network.
So next up, Sumi over on Twitter wanted us to talk about Graham Flem, or as you might know him, Craig Cole.
Flem.
So for those who don't know, Pitbull had a previous life as a wrestler. And when they recently protested at the Children's Hospital, the wrestling fraternity cut all ties with him in very public posts over on Facebook. even going as far as to talk about the history of his name, Graham Flem, and its close ties with the French translation Lecoq, which is obviously pronounced Lecoq.
That was a really good burn. But first off, someone please warn the AEC.
But ring up the AEC on Monday and tell them to fuck off. That we are not standing for any way, shape or form for electronic voting. Ring up your local federal member and tell him to fuck off. Because we are not standing for electronic voting.
And someone better warn the French too.
Parliament House over there, and a lot of these people behind us have obviously been held up on their way to their cheese and wine festival and might be a little bit peeved, but that'll get them asking questions even more. One would think, or you hope so. And what these people behind us that might be annoyed don't understand is how many more cheese and wine festivals you reckon you'll be able to have when you're living in communism? Probably none. But anyway, one day hopefully they might wake up. They might wake up.
He's right though. Get between my wine and cheese and I'd bloody wake up.
He said that like walking in the middle of the protest. I tell you what, he says some stuff. He says some stuff.
I like his saying where he goes, couldn't blow the froth off a cappuccino.
You can see the wrestler in him, like he's
and the Aussie bogan.
Correct. Look, this one is especially for you, Joe, because we know how much you love the little snapping turtle, and he certainly had a moment this year.
This is a crown, and I know because I am one. So you have no authority. So please move the vehicle.
The paperwork is coming and we'll show you what we've got.
You don't have any paperwork which is lawful.
Wayne?
I know who state security are. They've been monitoring my computer and my phone for ages, and I gave them access. So you have no authority on this property.
Good morning, Mr. Glue. My name's Jeff Fawley from the State
I'm
Security
not
Investigation
Mr. Glue.
Group.
I'm not Mr. Glue. My name is Wayne.
Okay, Wayne.
As ruled by the Supreme Court.
Cool. There's your copy of the search warrant, Wayne.
For
At this
what?
point in time, you're under arrest under suspicion
I'm
of
not
incitement
under arrest
to
for
commit an
anything.
indictable offence.
Indictable offence of what?
Incitement to commit an indictable offence.
Of what?
Deprivation of liberty.
Of who?
At this point in time, you're under arrest.
For what?
Okay. Incitement to commit an indictable offence.
Do you have the evidence there?
No, that's a copy of your search warrant. Okay.
Hang on a sec. Because this is nonsense and you know it. This is an attempt to shut me up from teaching the truth.
No, not at all.
Yes, it is. Where's the... Hang on.
Just go with him, Lewis.
Well, you can take it and go. That's not signed by anybody.
Okay.
It's not signed by anybody and you know it.
The copy of the search warrant isn't signed by the JP, it's blacked out. I've got the original copy of the search warrant, which
Where
is
is
signed
it?
by the Justice of the Peace.
Where is it?
In the car.
Can I have a look, please?
No, that's your copy. That's what you're entitled to have.
No.
Okay. All right. We're going to do a search warrant. You're under arrest. I'll get you to come with me, please, so that...
No.
And we know that Jack is petrified of Karen Brewer, so here she is.
He really is.
First up, she really hates paperwork.
It's Karen Brewer here, and this is going to come with a rant warning, okay? I just had this bird Arlen ring me up from South Australia to tell me that Brian Shaw's got another lot of paperwork, you paper pussy. I am sick to death of people who think you're going to solve this issue by hiding behind some paper. Here's an affidavit, here's some more paper, here's a trespass notice, here it is.
And don't even get her started on big sewing.
1st of June 2022. G'day everyone. Been doing some research today, into the sewing machine, which they tell us was invented in 1790. It's really interesting, because I was looking at a lot of images and stuff of the fashion of the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s and all that. Bloody marvellous, isn't it, Copious amounts of fabric. All must have been woven by hand. And then they sewed them by hand. And then you think of their undergarments, their corsets and pantaloons and all sorts of things, you know, all by hand. Wonder why they wore so much clothing, you know, like, must have been heavy to walk around in all that clothing, eh, you know. I'm thinking to myself, I'm smelling some bullshit here, you know. Then I thought, geez, these people must have done nothing else but sew all day and night. And yet that can't be. Because, you know, around the world, we got all these Tartarian buildings and they're all made out of red bricks. So the people must have been baking red bricks day and night. So I'm thinking to myself, who's sewing the clothes? You know, I mean, we got red brick buildings all over Australia and New Zealand and, you know, they must have been making them day and night for the amount of red bricks there are. And yet the sewing machine wasn't invented until 1790. So you had all these people baking all these red bricks around the world. And I'm thinking, who's sewing the clothes? I think our history's a lie, folks.
I don't know where. I don't understand the inner workings of Karen's mind. Like, I really can't. How did she even get there? Like, do you think she was using a sewing machine?
Yeah.
And like whipping up some like homemade clothes
In
or
a
something?
red brick house or something? I don't know.
I don't know. And that got her thinking about, sewing machine.
Yeah, she's so
Anyway.
bizarre. Her mind just works a different way.
Very strange. Very strange. And I am gutted that her and the Spirit King did their cemetery walk in Sydney. Like, I feel so ripped off that she didn't come down to Melbourne so that we could, in fact, attend a city walkabout with
We were
Karen.
saying that back in her,
Very
I think
disappointed.
it was one of our earlier episodes. We were like, we so want to go on a tour, cemetery tour
I am
with her.
so disappointed that they chose to do it in Sydney. So Canberra, unfortunately, is still a thing, which is crazy, as it's almost a year since Makada started. So endless hours of content here. But I did go back and picked a few clips. Have to start with this one of Luke Simpson talking about politics. This is I've had this one since the day that he said it, and I never shared it on Twitter at the time. I don't know. At the time, I just didn't feel comfortable about it. I don't know. But now I look back and go, no, this was a pretty funny Luke Simpson moment. So let's have a listen to him and what he understands about national politics.
They reckon ScoMo at another fucking national cabinet meeting. How many cabinets this cunt want to clean out? I mean, he's got a lot. That's what they're doing right now, is cleaning out all of these cabinets, because, listen, this is where all the information is kept from the whole fucking world, right? It's got all your family trees, goes back, and all of these buildings around here, all of them. You just got to come here and fucking look. They're all filled underground. There's trains that operate through this underground. You hear them all the time. And they just shipping fucking all of these national cabinets around, right?
For a lot of people, Makada was a bit of an introduction to how language can be used as get out of jail free cards.
Here we question. So if a police officer pulls you over and says, can you show me your license? You say, happy to answer your question, happy to do that for you if you answer my question first. So straight away you're switching up from the public into the private. You're becoming the creditor, okay, not the debitor. Is that right, Debbie? Okay. So that takes us into questioning, and we say, am I a living woman or man? Okay? And the police officer's going to go, show me your license. You go, am I a living woman? Okay? And the police officer's going to say, give me your license again. Am I a living woman? And if you ask 3 times, then and they haven't given you an answer and they've stayed silent, they've actually implied consent to your question. Okay, so them consenting that yes, you are a living woman takes you out of their jurisdiction, out of the public. Okay, so you are not a dead entity. You are not your license. What they're trying to do to you when you've given your license over is joinder you with your dead corporate entity name, your legal fiction name. So legal fiction, okay? Because it's a fiction. It's only real because you joinder with it, right?
The clip that goes along that one's actually really funny because they're actually sitting in a tent and she's writing all that stuff down on a whiteboard, and she's not like a super expert in it either. So there's someone else off camera that she keeps asking, like, is that right? Is that right? I don't know. I still don't know who it was.
Yeah.
But here's a young guy, Jameson, proudly recounting his use of those magic words that he just learnt to none other than Doris, or as you'll probably know her, Be Free with D.
But I mean,
What
like,
are you charged for?
hindering police.
Hindering
police. They were trying to tell me that I hit police, that I've been assaulting police, and I'm like, I'm not entering a contract with you. Don't try to put words into my mouth, because I didn't. And then when they gave me the charge sheet, it changed from the start to the end. So first off, I walked in there, they're like, your charges are...
We've got footage anyway.
Your charges are assaulting police officer, hindering police, and some other bullshit. I go, well, I don't agree to any of that, and I don't know who that is on that document because my name isn't in full capitals.
That's it.
And they're like, oh, we don't know what you're talking about.
Taught you that.
You taught me that.
And we all know what happened at the end of Makada, the fire, the trillions of dollars that Bruce Shillingsworth Sr. is still waiting for, and the drama that the legends at the Aboriginal Tent Embassy have had to put up with and are still having to put up with.
Yep, which brings us to a request by Karen. Danny got frustrated when his condescending tone was not appreciated by Leah and Lorna of the Aboriginal Tent Embassy, who were rightly pissed off after the antics they had endured by Danny's group. Have a listen.
Wait, somebody's
Yes.
asked what do I want you to do? Somebody's asked that. What I want, I don't speak for every black fella, but what I would like to see is non-Indigenous people stop feeling like that sense of entitlement that they can speak for us and speak over us and silence us. At the end of the day, we got a voice. I've got a voice and I know how to use it. I don't need any non-Indigenous person telling me what's best for me and my community. Because at the end of the day, I'm the one on the ground in my community. I'm the one working in the jail. I'm the one working with child protection. I'm the one working with our women that are having their children removed. I'm the one on the ground, okay? So when I have non-Indigenous people telling me what's best for my community, I'm on the front line in my community every single day. Don't tell me.
We weren't actually saying what's best for your community. What we were trying to do was save Australia from being taken over by a totalitarian dictatorship, essentially, right? And what we were saying is, and you can mark my words, it was all, everyone there heard it. What I wanted to do was have Indigenous people look after Indigenous people. I wanted the Indigenous people to look after the land, after the seas and the oceans, right? They would decide who gets to mine. They would decide. Okay.
We do not need that. That's some white lady.
All right, okay.
That's what you're fucking up. We do not need that. We've
What?
done a
Okay.
fucking job on our own,
Yeah, I know, but we've got to live in a partnership, right? We all have to live together is what I'm trying to
You
do.
want a partnership?
Yeah.
Give up the
Yeah.
privilege that you've inherited as being a colonizer in this country.
Right, will you give up the technology that civilization gave to you? Will you give up the technology? Yeah, okay, I'll do that. But will you give up the technology that this colonization gave you? You can't...
What sense? That's some
What?
colonizing shit. That's some white...
No, it's not.
stuff to say. It is.
It's not. You're demanding that I give up my rights or my this or my that, whatever. So I'm saying, okay, let's come to the table with equal, right? So if I give up all that stuff, will you give up your stuff?
We're here now. And we are learning to...
Exactly.
With the world.
Exactly. We're here now. So now... Yeah. So I've only got less than 5 minutes, so if it cuts off, it's not me. But we can come back on if you want to continue this conversation, because I'm happy to. She lost her connection.
Total purpose. Yeah, look, she's going in there. Danny, as you know, I know you had a
more of an overview as to your thoughts as to where we would end up with this. But my entire purpose for this convoy, which I started speaking about in July, August, was simply for everyone to get together on the behalf of 25.5 million Australians to disqualify this government and to try and start.
Celebrate our January 26th of January.
This is the thing I think has been the big mistake. Danny and I, we were waiting to hear back from the elders as to what date.
Do you understand that no response is a response? Do you understand that? You don't understand consent, do you?
We didn't. Hold on a minute. The next thing we knew, Bruce Shillingsworth was up there and all these other people.
And
we knew nothing about that.
Regardless,
we knew nothing about that.
Regardless, why should we be standing next to governments that celebrate our genocide? Why should we be standing next to the descendants of our colonizers, the people who have come here and murdered us? Like fuck.
Well, we didn't actually do that.
Bullshit.
We didn't do that. The elites did that.
Bullshit.
Okay, can you just...
You all live in this
Hang on, Lorna.
No.
Lorna, what am I saying, right? What am I saying now? Jiguchimajin konastotu, shabawilam gurmahagat.
I'm a dirty colonizer. That's what I hear.
No. What I just spoke then was my native tongue, which is Gaelic, which is not even spoken mostly anymore in Ireland. Why? Because the English came in and took us over.
They would tell you to go home too. And I know that because I've spent time in Belfast. I've got family over there too.
Right.
Yeah, right. And
so I was born in Australia.
They would tell you to fuck
What?
off. They would.
Why?
Because you're doing
I don't know.
Shit right now.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to point out to you that I lost my culture. I lost my language. I was sent to another country on the other side of the world. That wasn't our choice. That wasn't...
But you've come here...
No, but don't tell me that I'm not part of this country, right? I've served in the military here. I've done more to help this country than most people. I had no part in your genocide. No, I didn't. Look, you're obviously combatant. You're obviously combatant. You've got no interest in solving any issues. You're just combatant. You're not interested in solving any issues. So I'm going to end this. I'm going to end this, right? Good night, everyone. See you later. Bye.
So then Guru, Bosi and co roll into town and create mayhem and division that they are still going on about today. Here's Guru at one of the morning meetings at Epic. Oh, he's been winning since the beginning.
A big, massive win yesterday, and you still don't understand.
That's bullshit.
Okay, well, let me tell you why we had a win. Okay, let me tell you why we had a win. Because we didn't have a big crowd up there, and Antifa can't work without a big crowd, and there was only 2 guys turned up. There was supposed to be a lot more than that. So understand, folks, that because we brought the crowd size down at Parliament House, these guys couldn't infiltrate. Okay. If you think that's bullshit, you can think that's bullshit. I'm just telling the intel I know. I know what I get told, and that's why I said to you people, I suggest, hey, if you want to yell and scream, just don't, please. I'm getting off here now. I'm going to sleep. Okay, good. Yeah, hoodies, guys, good on you. Okay, so anyway, folks, you had a win yesterday, and you don't even really know it.
It's actually interesting, like when you go back and revisit just how much, like even at Epic, how divided they were. You know, like it was very much the Guru Bosi gang and the loyalists for Hootie. And I don't think he ever quite understood the level of love that they actually had for Hootie, because like a lot of the people at Epic came down from Queensland. And like I think Guru is like, he's definitely an acquired taste.
Yeah.
And he's certainly rubbed a few people up the wrong way. One of them was old mate Johnny Q. So after visiting Guru's boat at the harbour one night, he then decided to have it out at one of their rallies. But unfortunately, some other people ended up getting caught in the crosshairs here. So you're going to hear Craig Cole getting involved. Then you're going to hear the women getting involved.
That includes Mel.
Mel's in there. Dee's in there.
Wife.
Yeah, so there's a few people. And while all this is going on, Guru is doing everything in his power to stay as far away from Johnny Q. as he possibly can.
Guys, we've got we can welcome back for the second or the third week, I think. We have Adrian John Wills here, who's extremely brave, and he's come out and he's outed a lot of people who don't want to be outed, which is tremendously brave of him. But one of the questions that I wanted to ask him is, I wanted to know how the pedophiles have such liberty to be able to run around, and it seems like there's no consequences or very little consequences. It's very rare that they get caught. So, Adrian, do you know anything about that? Did you want to elaborate on how they managed to do that?
Yeah, well, I believe the whole system that I managed to be kidnapped into as a child was the Victorian State Police Force and the New South Wales State Police Force, which were heavily involved in, it seemed to be an American marketplace, even in the early 1980s. This was a new marketplace in the country in the 1980s that I remember as a child, which involved still members of the Royal Australian Navy, even back then.
Poor Adrian, though, being unduly interrupted like that when he just wanted to talk about his delusions of pedophiles in high places. But that wasn't the end of it. A week later, it was on again. This time, it was sparked by Everyday Phil having it out with Craig Cole.
Okay, put your arm around each other, and we are going to march into the finish line, and we will have the country that we were and we are destined to have. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Well, Craig, mate, you're on my stage. Mate, you're on my stage. You're on my stage, mate.
Your stage. I thought it was the people's stage.
It is, but it's here because I asked it to be here, mate. Who are you? Who are you? No, have it now. Have it now. I'm standing in front of the people.
Really?
Yep. None at all. Well, nice work, mate.
That's how you, Jody Spencer.
You're out of line, Phil. You're out of line.
Craig, look,
remember calling that woman a...
I know what's happening to the kids. I know what's happening to kids. You think I haven't been here for everyone?
That was between the girls. Crazy. Fuck off, you fucking coach.
Oi, let's just calm it down. That is my opinion too. I've got an opinion, you've got an opinion.
Fucking son. Yeah, you had yours. He had his.
That's right.
Keep it peaceful.
I did. I wasn't the one that called him out. He came back to me.
Even Mike had had enough by the end. He must have been knackered by this point.
Okay, so everyone's here for a different reason and with a different idea of how we're going to save the problem. This here, Joe, I love you, Joe, but it doesn't help. You know, that doesn't help. So if that's all you guys want, isn't it? Yes, he's deaf. But this is what happens. The media's going to put on the 5 seconds of you being a fucking dickhead, mate. That's what's going to happen. I've fucking had enough of it. Because I'm here fighting for my son and you're fucking ruining it. That's what I'm here for my son and my job. And I know many of you out there have lost your job. We're not getting it back by swearing at the fucking media, are we? Fighting with each other or carrying on and everyone's psyop and everyone's paid opposition and all that bullshit. We've got to stop that. We've got to unite together and we've got to build our numbers. The only way we can build the numbers is show the world we're not fucking crazy.
That one came out of nowhere too. He's pretty mild-mannered.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, and for it to be Smoking Joe that was at the other end of it, Smoking Joe didn't care, by the way. He was not even paying any attention to what he was saying. But one of the funniest arguments happened in the car park at Parliament House when Brad gave Tony Ant his marching orders. And this was when they first realised live streaming everything sometimes comes at a cost.
You're a traitor. You're a showman like the fucking rest of them. No.
And now you're threatening to assault me.
No one's threatening to assault you. You're not on video now. You're not on video now.
He's a bit controversial.
Calling him a fucking doing what you did, get the fuck out. No one's threatening you with nothing. You just threatened me before. No, no one threatened you. They asked you to leave because you're a traitorous piece of shit talker. Putting headings up against us is not warranted at all. He's a fucking hero. You said he was assaulted a fucking federal police officer. You're a piece of shit.
Yeah,
fuck off.
That was lie, because I fucking was there and I seen what happened. It was nothing fucking like what you fucking said.
Yeah, you rat. Fuck off, Tony Ann.
No worries.
You're a piece of shit.
Bite, mate. On your fucking bite.
Fuck off.
Don't be angry. I'm happy to fucking oblige if you want to fucking have it out right here.
I've seen that home event on video.
Anyway, just surprise each other what happens. It's just sad. It's sad. Yeah, I know, but... Don't anyone fucking post any of that shit. Yeah.
We don't need that bullshit now.
No, but I'm fucking recording it.
Hey. No video.
Won't be posted.
Oh, that's all.
But I mean, if
Don't worry, it's already posted. And if that's going.
Hey, Paul, is that on?
Right.
It's on.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, that was just on my thing there.
Yeah, so I've got edited that out. I should have edited that out, shouldn't I?
Was it really?
Yeah.
Makes you want to just... Makes you just want to get up and join.
Apologise for what he did. He fucking made up excuses. He's a piece of shit. Fuck off, Tony Ant!
We have certainly been introduced to quite a few characters this year, so let's quickly check in with them all. First up, the mayors of the micronation.
This is the Freedom Embassy 8.0. Look at this, man. This is 9.0. We're going to have like probably 5 of these ready. Hopefully for people coming up on the weekend. So if you're worried about coming up on the weekend, you have these. We can stay down there, but they can't. We're fucking political protesters. We can stay in our cars. If you've got a car you can stay in, come up. These keep us warm until we go to bed. The feds won't dare touch them. One there, it's on fire. We just, if anyone wants to bring anything up, bring some gas heaters. So we put gas heaters in them. That's what we need.
So that's those Glad Wrap bunkers that he's talking about. They created. We saw it was everyone. I'm sure all of you saw the Glad Wrap rooms that they made and the gas heaters inside and the barbecue going on inside them. I know Joel and Jack talked about it endlessly on their podcast at the time as well. They're so lucky they didn't die in there.
And like, there's one video of a guy who's like on stilts, like building it in the back, like building another one in the background while another one's being pulled down. And Grant's just there with his Stanley knife, cutting them down as quick as they were putting them up.
Yeah, that's right. So even though they're like, they're not going to take this down, this is legal, we're allowed to have this here. Nah, there you go. But as soon as they took them down, another one popped up.
And then, look, they actually got quite creative and started using the Glad Wrap as their signage backdrops. So they would go to their protests at the ABC, wrap a couple of trees, and then spray paint their message on it, which was actually quite creative, I thought. But anyway, this one is especially for Ken Moran on Twitter, because we really can't talk about Canberra without hearing these dulcet tones.
When you've taken a booster or two, and you've taken a shot 2 or 3, when is it going to be enough? When is going to be the breaking point?
Another person we didn't need in our lives is Guru's cooked with a Q sidekick Kaz. Here she is getting the crowd involved in a bit of a sing-along.
Okay, there's a certain president's birthday coming up, and my little friend over here is on a mission to get happy birthday sung to him. So I was wondering if we would like to sing happy birthday President Trump. All right. So, 3, 2, 1, is that how we do it? Okay. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, President Trump. Happy birthday to you. Hooray!
Hooray! Hooray!
Ugh. The weirdest thing about that was at the time we were all like, what's she doing? Why is she getting them to do that? And then we had to endure that video that they released later. That was so cringe. Next up, Keen Christine, who hassles a lot of people. On this day, she was hassling a poor journo at the car park at the GG's.
They're usually looking for a new job. No, don't worry. If they're being creative, what they'll do is they'll get snippets of the conversation and try and back. He's got editors and other people.
You want us to be nice, did you say? What's going to happen when the Nugoberg trials come?
What is a Nugoberg?
She still calls it Nugoberg. I heard her say it. She said it again the other day, and I was like, oh, Christine, come on, my love, come on. But yeah, no, she said it. And finally, Lucia, who truly is the hero from the lawn at Parliament, who invented protesting in Australia. Straight up, no one had ever protested before she arrived that day on the lawn. But before she got to the lawn, she was in a car park.
1 hour. We've got vegan sausages.
Oh, the sausages. And I'm not sure about vegan sausages.
Vegan sausages. No one wants your vegan sausages.
And I'm not sure, but this one makes Lush sound a little tiny bit privileged.
5 minutes to move the cars.
We're not. Let them go. They're legally parked. So if they want to illegally steal the cars again, that is their options.
Right.
That's their options, but make sure you film that because they're going to start smashing windows now, Bridge, and you should watch that. Yeah, do that.
After the cars next. Yeah, 5 minutes to move the cars.
I've got $200 fit flops in that leopard skin bag, that leopard print bag. I got them from Dubai and I wear them all the time normally. But not here in Canberra, they're for hotter weather.
I still don't know if she got those thongs back out of that bag, but I really hope that she did because they were from Dubai. And one last one, just a reminder, she's a teacher.
We're having a bit of a break. And these are the guys having a barbie. They normally go to Governor General's every morning and do the last march. Is it the last march? First march? What is it with the Governor General's? What is it? What is the tune with the bugle?
Oh, the last post.
The last post. I was thinking last march. Yeah, so that's good.
So that's Canberra, and I just want to have one last one from me. This is a personal gift from me to myself after enduring 40 days of Aidan and Morgan. This one made it all worthwhile.
Yeah, the Labour Party will feel the pain when they see Jane has entered the game. You see, she's the real deal. She ain't no teal, and she's coming straight through to represent you. Go, Jane.
Oh, Jane, the teal slayer Argerton is who he's actually rapping about here. She actually slayed no one at that election.
And she is so annoying, by the way. She needs to go away fast.
She loves the attention. She just wants attention, doesn't she? What a year of antics up in Canberra this year. My favourite is Pink Eye Lady.
What do you mean? I'm not upset. I'm having a great time. I just want to get my fucking makeup on my fucking shit little face and then walk the fuck out there and join the party. But I can't because there's fucking bullshit. What do you mean? You know that movie, fucking scary movie? Cindy, the TV is leaking. My eyes are the fucking TV, dude. My eyes are leaking. Something is obviously wrong and I don't know what it is. No, I don't mean like I'm sad. Like I think I don't know, I've got like makeup in there or something. I don't know what the fuck. Is this pink eye? Is this what pink eye is? I don't fucking know what's happening. Send help. Okay, see ya.
Do you remember how bad the conditions were in that camp?
Oh my God.
They all copped sunburn, gastro, pink eye, and then they blamed it on the LRADs.
Those speakers, you mean?
Yeah, the speakers. Yeah,
the speakers that they're calling LRADs.
You know, they spend all this time in front of this massive white building getting the reflection from the sun. And then outside, obviously in the sun, half of them don't believe in sunscreen because they think it's toxic. And then living inside these tents and these camps, I think at one stage or many stages throughout it that the toilets got blocked, overflowed.
And what were they eating while they were there? Like they probably all got scurvy.
Yeah, and They had the camp kitchens. At one point, the health authorities actually had turned up and told them that they couldn't have their kitchen like this because they weren't following any of safe food practices that you needed. I mean, and their reaction was like, I'm not going to have anyone tell me what to do. How dare they? That's the authority. No way.
And they're all sucking down durries and staying up all night. And then they all wondered why they got sick. I don't know.
Yeah, so that was probably one of the biggest highlights for me. At one stage, they even had a Facebook group of where they were saying, post all your Albrad reactions.
They did.
And there was like bad eyes, there was skin sores, they all had lip sores. It was terrible. Absolutely
Wasn't there going to be a class action for that?
Yeah, I don't even know what happened. We should look back in that. We'll ask our vexatious litigant.
Yeah.
But I want to return and honour the great and powerful Romeo Georges and his little fall from grace. After the fire at Old Parliament House, now remember, he was in one of the originals that was planning the event up at Old Parliament House along with Danny Searle. But that fell into a heap and literally burnt down in flames. But he ended up also being shunned by Craig Kelly because Craig Kelly wouldn't give him a job. And his epic rants in his backyard, which I loved. I actually had to feel sorry for his neighbours.
Oh, my God.
But, you know, it all came to an end. And Romeo, well, the movement did what the movement does. And Karen Brewer discovered that Romeo has a few skeletons in his closet. Freemasons in the family.
Of course.
So that all ended up into a whole thing. Romeo's being called a pedophile.
Yeah.
As they do, pedophile fantasists. And he pretty much had a breakdown with Guru and then he was done.
No, I'm gonna end it by saying
You end it. When you piss off, I'll just push the button. Hey guys, I'll just say something before Romeo finishes his thing.
I'll end it by saying this.
I'm here for the love of humanity, guys. Nothing more. See that chick over there? No. Okay? That chick over there, she's here for the love of humanity, mate. And we got a job to do. And there's a lot of folks that have been in the trenches together for 9 days now, folks. 9 days, we've held your ground and held your bit. Now we need you. That's all I got to say. Go, Romeo, finish it off. And I can't hear you, Romeo, unless it's up to me here, so I'll just listen in. When I see you drop out, I'll shut it down. I love you all, guys. I love everybody. And I love my camp. And I love the Australia Project, because without them, a non-political association, organisation, I couldn't have done this. They put their community plan into place down here, folks. That's what made this work. That's another thing. Okay, you want to know where the real pros should go? To the tap people. Lance and Kent Brown and their wife, or Lance's wife, and a few other people that fucking knew how to run this thing, man. As Ricardo said, I just know how to be a general. I don't know why I was a general, but I just know how to be a general. These people knew how to put the camp together, and then the people followed. Okay, so Romeo, take it away, because if they don't get to Canberra, we're all smoked, brother.
I ain't never seen so much fucking evil. I ain't never felt so much fucking evil. I ain't never seen so much betrayal. I have never seen so many people want to line their pockets. I've been doing fucking motherfucking 4 years. 4 fucking years. I saw the Farmers United. Nobody was lining their pockets. Farmers were hanging themselves from the trees. I saw houses being burnt down. I had one guy helping me while his house burnt down while we tried to save another house. I've never seen such division. I've never seen so many people jump up to pretend they give a fuck when they did nothing. And then now, right now, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. How can I talk when I got a fucking imbecile telling me I'm on a pedophile registry? Yaku Sharmuta, I fucking die for my children, you fucking motherfucker. I hate this fucking movement. I hate everything fucking about it. I've never fucking felt so fucking drained in my life. The motherfucker was a fucking pilot. He fucking was living the life. He fucking didn't give a fuck about anybody until he fucking lost his job. And you fuckers want to go and fucking go. Look, Halan 80, go to hell with him. Go to hell with him. Look, what's wrong with you people? This isn't about you. This isn't about me. Ah, fuck it. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done.
Romeo,
I'm done.
I love you, brother, and we're all done unless the people come to Canberra. And I'm not trying to sing a sad song here, folks. I wish I could sing a different song for you. Okay, but Romeo's just dropped out, folks, and I'm telling you, man, I'm going now. Okay? Because unless you guys get down here, all right, we need you. Australia, wake up. Wake up to what's been happening. Wake up to where you are in the elites program of mass genocide. Get to Canberra.
Couldn't stay away though.
So after he had his little breakdown, he got caught into this like subscription-based MLM that if you signed up, you could get all these cheap cleaning products or whatever. Anyway, It was a complete scam. He realised he got scammed, tried to talk out about it. They threatened to sue him. He had to say, no, it's not a scam, but he ultimately dropped the whole thing. And nowadays, he might post very, very lightly, or he shares videos with Lila, his mate Lila, and she'll occasionally chuck up a video from him. But he's pretty much gone back to his life.
He's got like 3 different YouTube channels.
Yes, that's right. I had forgotten about that.
One of them is like I can't remember what it's called, but he like goes into someone's house like unexpected and does an interview, and like the first one was with Ricardo.
And then he did one with Mundine at one stage.
Yeah, but ever since then, it's kind of just all been like about boxing. So I'm not sure if maybe he's actually quite well known in boxing circles in Sydney, because it certainly feels like he is. He's had a lot of access to boxers. I mean, but yeah, he's kind of...
Yeah, he's dropped the whole freedom stuff now.
Yeah,
he's completely disillusioned, doesn't really want to have anything to do with it. It's dead. I mean, he's not going to make anything of it anyway. The movement's gone, pretty much.
It'll be interesting to see if he does come back into things, because that's kind of the cycle, is like the minute that it feels like there's some kind of leadership vacuum, that's kind of when you see people try and step back into it. It'll be interesting to see if he's truly left it all behind, or whether the lure of clicks will bring him back.
Yeah. All right, so to cap it off for me, I love the MAGA QAnon infiltration. So here, Ken Barron on Twitter introduced us to QAnon MAGA Don in Melbourne.
Majority of us, we are free. We have not taken the compliant vaccine. It's not even a vaccine. They call it a vaccine. It has what they call mRNA gene sequencers in it. What does that mean? If you get a cut on your hand, how does your body know it needs to heal that cut? You have mRNA, messenger, RNA, transferring signals from your brain telling you to heal that wound. If you didn't have natural mRNA, you wouldn't heal. But they're putting mRNA into you that we now know can enter the DNA. And once it enters the DNA, or once it enters the cell, it enters the DNA. When it enters the DNA, it changes your DNA. And you're able to get a MAC code, a media access code. You can emit a Bluetooth signal
Conditional with graphene oxide. This is why we're here, because we know.
And of course, King QAnon Bosie alongside QAnon Carl and Guru having a rational chat at the Kelly.
So yeah, you woke up this morning? Yeah, no, it started very early. I think it started about 4 o'clock this morning, started work. Had a job, just some running around to do. Got in at about 7, turned on the car radio, and they were playing the funeral march for Queen Mary, which is a nice piece of music. I thought, that's unusual. And then this sycophantic, supplicating voice from the ABC said, we're cancelling our regular programming for a day of reflection. And I thought, what the hell are they talking about? It said, Queen Elizabeth is dead. And I went, Yahoo. It's one of those things, you'll know where you were, you'll remember where you were when you heard the news. And it's unstatesmanlike, but I said, the bitch is dead.
I said something unstatesmanlike as well, and I won't repeat it because Angelica's here, so I'll be very good. So, in our world, this means something to blokes like Dave and I, to a lot of these folks. We've been following, one of the interesting things, and one of the interesting things I'm not sure you're aware of today, folks, but the announcement of the Queen's death is 1,776 days exactly after the first Q drop. 1776 ring a bell? Yes. So that's the first thing that peaked for us this morning. We think this is the trigger for things going forward. Should we all be now running for the hills, burying our gold and silver and digging into our tinned food?
Well, if you've been listening, you know that you should be doing that anyway.
Yep.
And I'm sure most of you have. You're all prepared, and that's the main thing. And you also got to be prepared, as we've said countless times, for the neighbours that haven't quite prepared for themselves, and that's fine. And that is literally our focus, because I know there's 1,000 questions that everybody would like to ask, but as you know, with any ongoing operation, you don't say anything. Just let what's got to happen, happen. Understand that things are going to get very ugly early. It's a bit like a Friday night with the lads. It's going to get ugly early. It won't last forever. But right now, although we are fascinated by what's happening overseas, keep watching the news, keep watching the drops, keep spreading the word. This is critical, because the quicker we get the word out to everybody out there, because they're starting to pay attention. Mainstream media is now revealing what we have been talking to each other about for years.
Yep.
I don't know about you, but I'm bloody relieved. It's nice.
I'm dreaming of a white hat Christmas, when every crook will be exposed, and the people listen to trials that give more prison, eating popcorn by the load. I'm dreaming of a white hat Christmas, with every truth the post I write. May your children be safe at night, as they lock the liars up for life. Dreaming of a white hat Christmas, when John Jr. makes a show, Michael Jackson singing and Elvis swinging, and Princess Di has a healthy glow. I'm dreaming of a white hat Christmas, where we go on, we go all, and the truth is laid out for all, and the tyrants of this world will fall. our children be safe at all times. When they look the liars up for life.
So a big thank you to those who reached out to us with their requests for this. It was actually pretty cool and funny going back through and looking at things. I actually had to request my Twitter download in order to be able to go back and actually get some of the videos.
Oh, I wondered how you came up with all that.
Yeah.
So much time going through all those Twitter. Oh, right, that's true.
Yeah, I got my download, and then you can actually search it by date out there, people.
Ah, well done. Okay, yeah, good to know.
So a very big thank you to Joe and Jack for helping put the boot in our bums to get this thing up and running, and also for showing us the ropes, because we'd never done this before.
Yeah, complete amateurs. We thank all our listeners for taking the time to give our episodes a go. We have valued all the feedback and encouragement, as well as Cookawatch, Joel Hill and Ken Barron for helping us find clips. You guys are legends. And I personally have to thank my husband for giving me time to work on my little hobby. He's very patient with me, as lots of hours go into these episodes.
And of course, to the friends and connections that we've made along the way, people who've reached out to us and taught us so much. There's a community of really good people who just want to see our community stay safe, to be honest.
Yeah.
I want to thank Sandee, because she does all the production on this. And if it wasn't for Sandee, this wouldn't happen, to be honest. I'm good at all the researching-y type stuff, but I am certainly not a very technical person. So thank you, Sandee, for being so amazing.
Oh, thank you for that. And look, you put in a lot. Again, I think we just work well together, because you can come up with stuff and you can put it all together really, really well into a story that I can't. And I go back, my memory is shot. Whereas you can go back and you can relay things, and you come up with the funniest stuff. Without us, we couldn't create this. So thank you as well.
Funny story for you guys, and I told someone this not that long ago. Sandee and I have met each other in real life once.
Yeah. Just once.
And it was like a few months ago. Before that, we'd never even met each other.
No, we met each other on Twitter.
Yeah, bizarre. The people that you find.
And then the time we met each other, the first time we met, at a protest. We were getting into it. But look, I actually I view you as a friend. This has been really good working.
1000%.
Yeah. We'll have some more face-to-face time for sure. So let's see what next year brings, right? Shall we? Are we all a little bit scared?
Yeah, and to end today's episode, we bring you a request from Charlie Bucket. So enjoy.
You won't. But anyway, Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
This is a battle we must win. To expose the truth is not a sin. There's not enough rope to tie me down. There's not enough tape to shut this mouth. The stones you throw will make us bleed, but we won't stop until we're free. 'Cause wild hearts can't be broken. No, these wild hearts can't be broken. You beat me, betray me, you're losing, we're winning. My spirit above me, you cannot deny me. Our freedoms is burning, this broken world keeps turning. They'll never surrender, there's nothing but a victory. There's not enough rope to tie me down. shut this mouth. The stones you throw can make us bleed, but we won't stop until we're free. These wild hearts can't be broken. No, these wild hearts can't be broken. No.
Please put your hands together for Jen. Thank you, Jen. That was awesome. Thanks very much.